All right, everybody. How you guys doing out there today? This is Gold Pilled here with the Gold Pilled stream. And this is just going to be a real quick video, but a video that I caught the other day really stuck out to me. So I had to point it out and bring it to you. We're going to talk about Alex Jones here today and how this gatekeeping intel asset IIA operations MNFer is still in business, still hustling his nutritional whatever vitamins and whatnot, and it looks like he's doing better than he's ever been doing. Honestly, you would think that getting booted off YouTube and losing the YouTube shekels, and having to get his viewer base to follow him to wherever would severely impact him financially. Well, it doesn't appear that way. It looks like he's rolling in the money, and he's better off than he ever was. So we're gonna look at him a little bit real quick here today, and I wanted to point out I got a ID claim on my Brendan O'Connell 3 video. That little 3-minute clip he plays from a BBC clip. Um, it wasn't a copyright strike, but it was an content ID claim or something, where if any money would be generated from my video, they won it. And I'm not monetized. Not I don't qualify for monetization, and so I don't know what they're trying to do. In the video clip, if you would subtract Brendan's narrative commentary over it, it's only like 1 or 2 minutes. So I don't know why they're being sticklers. I disputed it under fair use because it had commentary over it, and then I added commentary, so that should qualify. But whatever this ID claim is, it doesn't affect your video. They leave it up. You don't gotta take it down or whatever. So we're just gonna leave it the way it is. Even if I lose, I guess it should still stay up. But all right, let's go over to the gatekeeping fool Alex Jones, and let's see what I seen here the other day. Now, if most of you don't already know, and you already should, Alex Jones is a corrupt sellout POS. This guy has been grifting and leading the truth community astray for a long time. Now, even clear back when he actually, talked a good game, back when Bill Cooper was still going at it, Bill Cooper called him out for, being a shill and a hack and an idiot. So clear back then, even though he kind of, covered some good news areas, Bill Cooper's seen what he was. And then he just got progressively worse over time. And, once it hit, 2010 or whatever, it started going downhill. Then he became wildly popular on YouTube. And by that point, he was completely cucking for, for the powers that be, the control system. And then came the demonetization and censorship on YouTube, and they booted him, and they made a whole big stink. Oh, Alex Jones censored on, YouTube. He got kicked off. Wah, wah, wah. They riled up his supporter base, to go support him because, he's being censored and kicked off. That got him, so much publicity. It got him so much shekels coming in, to support the censorship that's, coming down on him. And, he's not even allowed to have clips on YouTube. He's so censored. He must really be speaking truth because they don't want his voice to be heard. Like, that's such an old game. Like, so easy to dupe the sheep. All you got to do is just put an act on, and people believe it. That whole censorship thing with YouTube in 2018, 2017-ish, that was to get you to trust these people even more and follow them to these other, platforms. And people don't realize this. They don't spend enough time, researching and watching videos to see how this is all playing out. And, even as, a trust factor, as far as trusting the person, they don't catch enough of their videos to pick out the hypocrisies they're doing, and where they put their foot in their mouth and show that, they're just liars grifting for shekels, or they might even be more than that, um, trying to steer a counter narrative or, whatever the IIA wants them to steer. And people don't pick up on this stuff. And, sadly, I do pick up on it. I usually pick up on it right away. And so I bring it. I want to point it out to people. Now, this is all relevant to, what I've been talking about here in my past couple videos. And, Brendan O'Connell, he talks about it all the time. He has quite disdain here for Alex Jones. And I don't blame him. I have disdain for Alex Jones. He's selling out the, conservative Christian crowd. And I'm sorry, Alex Jones is not Christian. He's not even religious. And if you knew it, he probably worships the devil just like the elite he serves. So do not trust this guy. Do not send him money. Do not buy his products. Do not support him. That probably won't make a difference because I'm sure he's getting mystery money coming in each month for being the gatekeeper, narrative steerer he is, just like his old buddy Joe Rogan. These guys are actors. They are absolute actors playing a role. Alex Jones has even admitted he's an actor, in his court depositions. When push comes to shove and old Alex Jones is facing lawsuits, no matter what you may think about the lawsuit, whether it's genuine or just a BS lawsuit to further, his persecution narrative and, credibility angle that way, it's still a lawsuit and it's still, push to shove. And Alex Jones, I'm just an actor putting on a show. What I do is just all for the show. And then his ex-wives, they corroborate that. Oh, he was just an actor. He does that for his show. If you can't pick that up and discern that, we're gonna be doomed. People have to start thinking higher. You have to start critically analyzing stuff. You have to dig around in your brain and find some scrap of intelligence. I know people have some intelligence in their head. There has to be a little bit somewhere. Find it. Find it and try to cultivate it, nurture it, blow on it like a little ember. Get that intelligence flame burning in your brain. I know it's hard. I know people have been bombarded by poisons and with the fluoride and everything else, making you dumb and docile and pretty much double-digit IQs now. But we got to tap into something and start thinking higher or we are doomed. This country is becoming an idiocracy. And that's really sad. And now that they have the internet and they know exactly how to use it, even though you can get a lot of truth on the internet, like I said, they know exactly how to use it, and they're winning. They are winning. And unless, people can start, thinking on a gold pill level, you're not going to get out of their dragnet. You're going to be caught in it, and you're going to be pulled down until the future gulags come. And then we're all going to be in it. We can complain and say, are you angry? Yep, I'm angry. Are you angry? I'm really angry. Are you really angry? We'll all be doing that in the metaverse. So I urge people, We got to start thinking higher. Take the gold pill. Anything you see online, run it through gold pill thinking, because that's how deep this is. So, all right, I rambled on enough there. So this is the video that put it in my head. I got to do a little video about old Alex Jones here. So let's just start it, and I'll show you what I mean. Now, this is the high production value. When I was saying, a whole bunch of channels have popped up everywhere, seemingly out of nowhere, and they never had a YouTube presence, but they have high production value. Well, look at the high production value on Alex Jones' setup here. And this is after being off YouTube for a while and, out on his own. There's money coming in from somewhere.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the last days you've got. We've been able to extend it till Wednesday, and then 100% it's going to end, and that's 25% off. Last night was the last day. They extended it 3 days. Nobody else that's their distributors gets this deal. 25% off on the entire My Patriot Supply catalog exclusively at Prepare with Alex.
So this is one of his big grifts here. That InfoWars store, selling the supplements and stuff for your health, acting like he genuinely cares about your health. And look at this. Patriot Supply food, probably Patriot Supply. There's only like 3 companies that do this. He actually contracted with them and branded the food with InfoWars brand. That's how, connection, how big he is to be able to do this. And you'll see, he'll pull up a list here, all different kinds, all InfoWars branded. This is a brand name now he has, InfoWars. This ain't grassroots fighting for a little person. This is pretty much a national brand.
.com. That's a subdomain. Best package 53313. So good for your immune system and everything else, and it funds the InfoWar. And a bunch of other sales in Wednesday as well at InfoWarsStore.com. Well, we've got one of the hero doc.
Now, right there, the opening of that thing there. Look at the production value of his studio. Just the little nook where he films. Look at this desk. The whole front of this desk. That's custom screen. That's custom viewing screen here. Over here on the left, where the mouse is. These are all 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So at least 9 panel, maybe 12 panel screens. You got the same over here on this side. And then you have however many here in the middle. All monitor screens. All custom put together to have these graphics, the InfoWars graphics. Do you know how much money it takes to put together a production value set like this? How I think old Timmy Pool's studio he has in his $1 million mansion house is probably pushing, 500,000, I'd probably just rough estimate of the equipment and stuff he has in there. I bet you Joe Rogan's studio is probably at least $1 million. That weird whatever, he thinks it's cool now, that Spotify studio he got put together. It's probably at least $1 million in there. Look at Alex Jones here. That is high production value. This guy is raking in the money left and right, and it's sad. It's I'd like to say that a lot of this money is the mystery checks he gets each month for being a gatekeeping shill and being an asset, working for intelligence. But a lot of money he gets is off the backs of hard-working conservative folk. Conservative folk that want change. They want freedom, and they think this fool is fighting for them, so they'll send, the extra $20 out of their paycheck each month. that they may have. Or, they might forego, maybe eating out, just to send this guy $20 thinking it's going to help. And that's sad, grifting off the good conservative folk, the backbone of this country, just grifting it, stealing from them, fleecing them. It's pathetic. The same thing with Tim Pool, same thing with Joe Rogan. Them grifters, that pisses me off the most, is them fleecing and robbing the people from lying to their faces, plotting and planning, behind the scenes, against the people, to enslave them, because, you're an asset, working for intelligence, pushing lying to people, lying to their faces every single day. But then you're taking their money and making them poor in the process. That pisses me off. And they don't even care. They go home and sleep good at night in their $1,000,000 house and their $1,000 silk sheets, probably, after he, has been probably ripping meth or coke or whatever he does all day, old Alex boy here. And I'll let it play here, where if he starts talking, he's losing his grip. He's really losing his edge. He had to read word for word from his paper, and he could barely read that. You know, the game's taking a toll on Alex boy here. And if like I said, if you don't already know who Alex is, just dig into some people, research his past, and look for people exposing him. There's plenty of videos out there, people exposing him. He's admitted to his family's full of intelligence and being in the secret groups. This guy is no different. And that could all be BS. But the real truth is, he is working for intelligence. Whether his family, has been in it in the past, and that's why he's in it now, or he just got in it. He's in it. And likely he's been in it this entire time. If his family's been in it, he's probably groomed, and he probably went into it at an early age and has been working the counter narrative this entire time. Like I said, this InfoWars, the name, that was carefully chosen. Information warfare. That's what the intelligence community deems is going on in this digital age, the internet age. It's, they knew it was going to be a matter of information warfare. They didn't just create the internet and be like, oh, here you go. Knowingly, they knowingly knew the access to information that we would have with the internet. And they weren't just going to give us that information willy-nilly for everyone to wake up and go, oh, wow, the government ain't what we thought. They knew we were going to get access to that. And they knew from the start that they were going to have to control that, control the flow of information, and be able to manipulate us to where they can keep us under control. Even with the abundance of information, they could still keep us under their thumb by, countering against us. So who cares, if the sheep are getting actual truth? We can still keep them in the cage through information warfare. And, it's no coincidence, the leader of the truth revolution, the tip of the spear, which is another intelligence term, he just creates his show and names it InfoWars, information warfare. The whole Alex Jones and his show is intelligence through and through. You guys have to see that. And I know, when I first started, he was a big one that I started with. It didn't take me long to see how the hypocrisy of it. But, I seen it pretty quick, but I did start on him. I did start with Alex Jones. And he did kind of wake me up a little bit. But I quickly seen it and moved on. Others don't. They just love it. They gobble up Alex Jones. It's terrible. So I'm going to let this play. No, I'm not even going to let it play. He stumbles through his words and has this one. If you want to watch this thing, it's not a bad video. because the lady he has on, she does talk some good information, but we won't go any further. I just wanted to show you the high production value and how he's a multi-millionaire now off the backs of other people. Alright, so moving on. This here is an example of these alternative platforms that have been created. And apparently this is Alex Jones's platform that he created, which I'm sure he created. I'm sure it was some Israeli company that created it. I'm pretty sure he even admitted in the past that some Israeli group created his website. So this is ban.video. This is the Alex Jones website. So here is the actual ban.video. And then you see he also bought other domain names that redirect and give you ban.video. Futurenews.news. That brings up ban.video homepage pretty much. So you got money in multiple domain names to send you to the main ban.video platform. How much money does it take to put one of these together? These hosting platforms. How much money does it cost? To raise one of these. And look at all the Alex Jones shilling. It's all about him. Alex Jones. You scroll down though, there's other channels. Salty Cracker, Ripple Effect Podcast. Other people. Jamie Deluxe. David Icke. Oh, this whole platform. I bet you they're data harvesting, handing everything over to intelligence and government. I wouldn't even create an account on this website. And this is the first time I've even pulled this site up. I have no desire or need to come to Alex Jones's video site. I can get my information elsewhere, and I do. Same thing with Trump creating his own social media. My name will not be involved in that, and I will not have an account with that. That'll be data harvesting and manipulation, and you guys got to wake up to this stuff. They use any and everything against you here online, even just accounts and sites that you go to and sign up for. Excuse me. So, be aware. Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene declares, visits information warfare and declares war on the DC establishment bubble. So right there, two-party paradigm shilling, taking the Republican side of that shill fence. Absolutely despicable. If Alex Jones was such a truther, he would realize the two-party paradigm is a fraud, and he would abandon it. But he doesn't. He pushes it. Or ride that Trump train. Ride that Trump train, guys. What a shill. Wake up, guys. Wake up. Wake up before it is too late. Alright, so we're going to see an example of Alex and friends lying right to your face. The biggest lying to your face that I remember was when old Steve Pachenik, definite intel agent, was on there saying they got the evidence, the election was rigged and they cheated, and we have the evidence, and there's little chips in the voting cards, and we're going to be able to tally them all and show it. And never heard nothing after that, and you dumb sheep completely forgot about it. Probably went and bought some nutraceuticals the next day from InfoWars store. That's how dumb an attention span most folks have. They lie right to your faces and you forget all about it and come back the next day for more truth. Oh, tell me more truth, Alex. I forgot you lied, spit in my face every day, but tell me more. This is a new day. So here, this is Alex's Italian buddy who's completely full of shit and lies like there's no tomorrow. I don't know if anything this retard says is true, but Listen to the new lie that Alex is permitting. Fighting for your freedom, guys. Remember, Alex is fighting for your freedom. Let's listen.
And we can say that actually the roots of Freemasonry were Christian, but after 1813, at that point, they decided to let the Muslims in, and gradually, of course, they let also everybody else in, but the Muslims took over Freemasonry, and that is one of the subjects that actually in my latest book.
Well, I know you should talk about how powerful the Muslims were, and I didn't believe it, but behind the scenes, they run the Federal Reserve, you name it, they're really coming after us. Leo Zagami, always intriguing. People can find your books on your website. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yep, go buy his book. Go buy that shill's book. You'll learn all about how the Muslims took over Freemasonry, and they control the Federal Reserve there, according to Alex. But that is the most stupidest thing I've ever heard. And that's the type of lies that he is pushing. And so many people still gobble this shit up. How dumb are you people? Like, I'm sorry to be so ignorant, but so many of you out there are dumb as F. You need to start thinking. You know, I pray that you have a little intelligence in there somewhere. Like I said, dig around and find it, nurture it, make it grow. We need it. We need it. You cannot keep gobbling this utter propaganda up like it's the truth. It is so easy to see. I don't know why it's so easy for me to see and everybody just doesn't get it. So we're going to finish this up here. Here's the last thing. I went to kind of see what band.video is, and it's registered under Epic with a K at the end, Inc. And if anyone didn't know, you go to Whois, you can put in any website, and it'll give you a little bit of information. Any of the good stuff you're looking for will be redacted. The server type here, it's on Cloudflare. Referral URL, www.epic.com. We'll open that in a new tab. You go down. It was registered in 2019 in July. You got the name, servers, and here's the data. Registrant contact info. Redacted for privacy. Organization. Anonymize. Inc. All the stuff redacted to state, Washington. So apparently Washington State. The rest all redacted. Administrative contact, all redacted. They only give the Washington State and the anonymize. Tricky word to say, so let's see what this Epic is. Oh, so he's just using the normal registrar site. That's what Epic is. Yep. I'm sure they're taking all your data and sending it wherever. They ain't no free speech. I'm sure they'll let you say whatever you want on there, but best believe they're data logging it, and then it'll be used against you in the future, or it'll be used to push their laws pertaining to the digital realm, the digital crackdown. It'll all be used for that. So be wary of what they're putting out there, guys. Be very wary. And like I said, do not support Alex Jones. This dude's a shill. He's making $1 million. You see that high production studio, and that's with no YouTube base. He's just out on his own, hustling Nutra products and whatever, and he's making a killing. That's them mystery checks, the mystery shekels coming in. Alex got it made, and he's just walking right up the backs of you hard-working conservative Christian folk. Do not let them do that, guys. And I know it's hard. Back I said, I watched him for a little bit before I quickly realized he was a shill. But even then, I almost bought a product from his store because, some of the stuff he has is good for your health. The nascent iodine he had, I really considered getting that at one point to help with my health, because it seemed like, he had a really high quality Mason iodine. And I never did order, but, I considered it. So, I know how easy, it can be, to get fooled and duped into, what they're pushing. But I very quickly caught on to it, and I never did buy anything. But other people, they're not gold pilled. They're not me. They're not on gold pilled level, and they look at Alex Jones as an internet truth daddy. It's their internet truth daddy. Oh, tell me more, daddy. Tell me more. Read me a story, daddy. Daddy, read me another story. That's all they are, stories, fairy tales. So find yourself some real credible sources. Use your discernment. Use your head. Find that intelligence. I gotta believe that people have a little bit of intelligence left. So find it and use it. And let's all wake up to the internet IIA minefield that we're traversing here. So that's it. That's it for Gold Pilled today. Everyone take care. This is Gold Pilled with the Gold Pilled Stream. I'm out. Peace.